Hello my fellow VSGers, this is Jote Saint, along with my sidekick Frankensleeve, bringing you another quick fact, frequently asked question. And this frequently asked question is, why did you choose the vertical sleeve versus other forms of bariatric surgery? My choices were limited to what my insurance company would cover, and there were three that they would pay for: the lapband surgery, the RNY or Duodenal Switch Gastric Bypass, or the vertical sleeve gastrectomy. And I didn't go with the lap band because I had a friend who had already had lap band surgery a few years previous, and he had several complications because of the band. And it was almost a complete failure for him because he learned how to eat around the band. So even though the band did provide some restriction, he figured out how to consume just as much food as he did pre-op. And he was having additional complications from where the band was rubbing against the outside of his stomach, causing scar tissue. So eventually they had to deflate the band, and now he's back to his old weight, and it was a lot of time, effort, and money wasted for something that was not a long-term success. And I opted not to go with the RNY or Duodenal Switch Gastric Bypass, mainly because it just seemed too creepy to me. I call it the creepy factor. I didn't like the idea of them cutting and rerouting my intestines up to a small stomach pouch. At the time, I didn't realize that that would also cause dumping syndrome because the valve in the lower part of the stomach is bypassed. But the other factors that really turned me off of the idea of the duodenal switch was the problems with vitamin absorption. I learned very quickly from watching YouTube videos that the people who had RNY or duodenal switch had to be on vitamin supplements for the rest of their lives, and as well they had problems absorbing nutrients from foods. But they were more successful at keeping off the weight and losing weight faster. Since my surgery, two ladies in my office have had the duodenal switch, and they have been doing very well, and are very happy with the surgery outcomes and their new way of life. So I'm not putting it down, I'm just saying it wasn't my choice. So you should always talk to as many people as you can about the different types of surgeries and what they've had and what their lifestyle is like post-op. And as I said, I got most of my information from watching YouTube videos. I wanted to see two kinds of videos. I wanted to see videos that were as new as possible so that I could see people who had just recently had surgery and see what the outcomes were currently like. And I wanted to see videos of people who were more than 6 months or a year post-op so that I could see how the long-term effects were changing their lives and whether or not they were happy with their outcomes and what they would do differently. So that's how I came about choosing the vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I really liked the fact that there was no intestine rerouting to be done. I like the fact that they only trimmed off the stretchy excess part of the stomach, and you'd be left with a long sleeve that was made up of tough material that would not stretch. There is no dumping syndrome because basically dumping syndrome is where the food moves too quickly from the stomach into the intestines, and with VSG, the lower valve in your stomach is still in place between your intestines and your stomach, so the food does not move excessively fast into the intestines. And there are no food absorption problems. Everything is still intact in your intestinal tract, so you will be absorbing as much nutrient from the food as you can, and the same thing for vitamins. You still absorb all the vitamins, and you don't necessarily have to stay on vitamins for the rest of your life. So that's how I came about making my choice. And if you're in the process of deciding what is the best type of bariatric surgery for yourself, I would advise finding different forums that are specifically for weight loss surgery, and just spend a few days lurking around on the board watching what questions are being posted, because I found out very quickly that people post the same questions over and over during the week, so you'll find out you'll be having the same concerns and doubts about the surgery, and you can see the responses from veteran bariatric patients and how things turned out for them. As well, YouTube is a great resource for weight loss surgery videos for pre- and post-op patients, as well as hearing from the professionals who perform the surgeries. And I say just learn as much as you can, because this is a huge decision. It is a life-changing decision, and it's not something that you can really go back on once you've gone through the surgery. So, this is Joe Saint, along with Frankensleeve, signing off from VSG land. And keep pimping that sleeve.